Okay, so let's start. Today I will be discussing about wheeled vehicles and history ng road. Yan. So, as you all know, wheel has been an important part of life. Yan. Ever since it was invented, yan, especially sa ancient period sa Mesopotamia, it was actually one of the greatest, if not the greatest invention of mankind, the wheel. Kasi diyan ngayon actually nagdedepende ang buhay. From machines, transportation, to even our daily equipment. May some sort of wheel na component. Yan. So, it first became popular. Itong tinatawag na wheel, o yung wagons, sa Tigris-Euphrates Valley. That was in Mesopotamia noong 3,500 BC. Yan. And then, it spread out throughout Northern Africa and sa Middle East, papunta na sa Asia. Yan. Because it enabled the faster movement and transportation of goods, of people, na beyond the capacity ng man at ng animal, yan, it is really considered a great contribution to human society. Yan. The oldest wheel was found in Slovenia noong 2002, the Ljubljana Marshes wooden wheel. Yan. It was dated to have still been existing at that time. Noong 2002, it was around 5,200 years old na yung gulong na yun. Yan, nasa Slovenia yan siya. And it is being preserved up to this day. Yung Ljubljana Marshes wooden wheel. Yan. Oldest wheel found as of today. Yan. Other mga wheeled vehicles that was during the ancient times, such as the Italian Cocho, the Greek Quadriga, Sumerian chariots, pati yung Basterna at Karuka, or yung Karuka. Yan. So they are just some of the names that are somewhat key sa development ng gulong. Okay? Let me just hold on for a second. Yan. Okay. So, let's proceed to the roadway or yung road. Yan. So, the earliest known formal construction of roads were initiated by the Romans or yung Roman Empire. Ayan. They're the first major road builders in ancient times. Yan. Sa kanilang bansa, sa Italy, 50,000 miles or 80,000 kilometers yung kanilang unang road, which was considered a feeder road dahil meron silang mga highways at yung mga roads na ginawa nila commonly made up of stones. Yan. Yung roads na yon are feeder roads which connects to smaller towns and smaller places throughout their empire. Yan. And yung kanilang roads na nagawa are found to have formed a very deep layer of heavy stones to make all those passing carriages and individuals, regardless of weight, makaya sa road. Okay? So, let me just switch the presentation shortly. Okay, so next, please also take note John Macadam. Ayan. Actually, siya yung unang nag-conceptualize ng road construction nung early 1800s. Ayan. Kung saan yan yung nagsilbing foundation ng pag-construct ng roads throughout the planet. Yan, yung 1800s hanggang 1900s. And considered as one of the forefathers in road construction, si John Macadam. Yan, kung saan yung tinatawag na macadamized road or ka ng mga roads made up of strong and hard rocks. Yan, ng mga hollow na rocks. Kana. Siya ang nagsugod, ana. Yan, kanang mga roads na puno og mga rocks, especially sa Europe. Yan, especially sa England. Magpasalamat sila kay John Macadam pag-conceptualize niyan around 1815. Yan. So, also with the improvements sa roads, nagkaroon din ng improvements sa pag-haul ng tao at ng goods. Ayan. Nagkaroon na ng improvements sa mga carriages, sa mga wheels. Ayan. Which, by the late 1800s, ayan, nagkaroon na ng concept na kung saan pwede pala i-partner ang gulong at ang carriage sa isang tinatawag na motor. Ayan. Originally starting nung Industrial Revolution at nagsimula yan sa mga tren. Ayan, sa mga trains. Okay? So, let me just switch the presentation. Ayan, okay na yung presentation. Okay, can you see the presentation? Klaro na ba ang presentation?
Yes, po, sir.
Okay, so um, it started with John Macadam. Yan yung itsura niya. Yan, Englishman, founder ng, or actually one of the early known engineers or road engineers, especially sa England. Yan. Next. Yan. After ng pagbagsak ng Roman Empire, yan, especially during the 5th century, nagkaroon ng immediate importance ang pagkakaroon ng wheeled transportation. Not just for wars, but at the same time for transport of goods and people. Yan, motor vehicles tayo. One of the greatest inventions in the Industrial Revolution, yung 1700s, ang tinatawag na motor. Okay? And one of the early known successful motors, yan, which soon became engine, is yung steam engine. Perfected ni James Watt. That's around 1760. Yan. So, during that time, nakita nila na, uy, may mga tren, may mga bago ng tren. Pero, paano magkakaroon ng um, capability na mas mabilis yung pagtakbo ng tren? Yan. Because time was also one of the important factors in traveling na una nilang na conceptualize. So they needed an engine, a motor. And there are early engines pero none was successful than James Watt's steam engine. Yan. And by the end of the 1700s at start ng 1800s, maraming mga inventors from all over the world who tried to apply that steam engine, improved it, and also ginamit ang steam engine hindi lang para sa mga tren but also sa mga ships. Yan. One of them, si Jackie Perrier or Jack Perrier. Yan. One of the earliest known steamboats noong 1775. Yan. Next, Robert Fulton. Yan. Yung steamboat niyang Clermont sa Amerika, or actually it's in United Kingdom. Yan. He originated it and somehow modified James Watt's engine. Yan. Yung steamboat niyang Clermont, which was actually one of the early passenger steamboats. Yan, walang Savannah, wala akong nakalap na picture niyon. But it is one of those early steamboats na kayang mag-travel from America papunta sa Europe. Yan, papuntang England. Yan. Dahil meron ng steamboat, may steam engines, na-replace na nila yung old type of ships na kung saan kanang literal jud na mga bugsay na or mga wooden wheels to propel it. Yan. Sa railroads naman, ayan, yung mga horse-drawn wagons at mga chariots have been replaced. Yan, nung 17th century. Kung saan yung mga wagons were put in a track kung saan nagkaroon na ng mga tren together with engines which was first used sa mga European mines. Yan. Richard Trevithick, yan. He adapted one of the early steam locomotive railway engines na ginamit para sa mining. George Stephenson built and equipped the first railway system na established sa England. Yan. 32 kilometers ang haba. Which, by virtue of his contribution, dyan na nagsimula yung railroad building sa England. Yan. Sa United States, nagkaroon ng pagbugso ng construction of railroads. Yan. Kung saan nakuha nila yung concept from England. And by 1840, nagkaroon na siya ng 4,800 kilometers ng railroad tracks, which mostly is nasa eastern United States. Yan, sa eastern side. Yan. Significant improvements. Yan. First, kay John Palmer, he introduced the first mail coach o yung fast mail coach. Yan, yung nagtatransport ng mail. Yan, in March of 1785. Yan. Sunod, one of the inventions din para sa wheeled travel or wheeled transportation is the invention of the bicycle. Yan. Kung saan yung modern bicycle na alam natin ngayon. Ang bike was originally conceptualized as hobby horse or dandy horse. Yan. Kung saan nagsimula yan siya as wood, made of wood. Yung mga gulong. Yan. Yung tires niya are made up of iron. At yung mga riders push themselves along with their feet on the ground. Yan. Yung mga inspiration for early bicycles. Yan. Carl von Drey, German individual, yan, Siya yung unang nag-introduce ng steerable bicycle. Yan, kanang pwede na ma-steer. Pero wala pa ring pedal. And it is made up commonly of steel. Yan. Yung tinatawag niyang Dracian. Yan. So, carbon dray, yung Dracian or yung dandy horse in English. Yan. So, you would see dalawang gulong, same as what we have today. Pero yung form, yung component na ginamit, and of course, obviously, wala pang pedals. Yan, literally maglalakad ka. You will use your feet to travel. Yan, yan yung naisip niya noon, which was one of the early predecessors of the modern day bicycle. Kirkpatrick Macmillan. Noong 1838, he's a Scottish blacksmith. Yan. Nung nakita niya na, itong two-wheeled na transportation na ito, very unique. Yan. Bakit di natin gawing mas madali para sa gumagamit? So, he attached some cranks, some little gears, kung saan nagkaroon na ng unang pedal. Yan. An invention by Kirkpatrick Macmillan. First machine or first bicycle with pedals. Yan. Soon after, yung mga bicycles lumaki at nag-improve. And then, naisip ng iba, bakit di natin lagyan ng makina or motor? Kagaya nung na-conceptualize nila yung steam engine. Yan. So, nakita yan ng mga early Europeans, pati ng mga Americans, na yung railroad kasi, fixed yung ruta. Yan. At hindi naman lahat makakabili yun because pagmamayari ng kanilang mga empires or mga gobyerno. So they needed something that could be handy like a bicycle, at the same time have a motor and is capable like a train. So, naisip nila bakit di natin paliitin? Bakit di natin gawin yon na ang konsepto is mainly for people to move freely. Yan. So, si Ferdinand Verbies, Jesuit missionary na nasa China, yan, he built the first steam-powered vehicle noong 1672 na nagsilbing laruan and as a gift for the Chinese emperor at that time. Yan. Okay? So, yung mga engines nila noon, masyado pang malaki. Masyado pang basic. Yan. In today's standards. So, next si Nicolas Cugno. Yan. Noong 1870. Yan. He demonstrated the steam dray machine. Yan. Or steam-driven tractor. Yan. Na ginagamit ng mga sundalo noon. Yan, as you would see, may bulging na parang steam container sa harap, which would really take time to create vapors. Yung Fardier a vapor. Yan yung tawag niya. Yan, Fardier a vapor. William Murdoch, noong 1784, yan, he built a working model ng steam carriage. Yan, sa kanilang bansa. Yan, that's still in England. Sa England pa rin. Richard Trevithick, full-size vehicle na pwede nang gamitin sa roads. Yan. But it's still steam-powered and still have some sort of rail or fixed na ruta. And Oliver Evans was granted noong 1789 the first automobile patent. Yan. Yan, si François de Riva noong 1806, a Swiss engineer, he built a somewhat same as the early vehicles. He built an engine na may tinatawag na internal combustion engine gamit ang hydrogen and oxygen. mixture. Yan. One of the early known wheeled vehicles na pwedeng gamitin sa mga smaller roads. Joseph Bosek, yan, from Prague, yan, a professor in Prague, built an oil-fired steam car, yan, yung unang mga steam cars. And Samuel Brown tested the hydrogen-fueled internal combustion engine. Yan, sa London. Walter Hancock, one of the early inventors or creators ng steam buses. Yan yung nagsilbing unang transportation vehicles based on an automobile. Yan. So it's automated. Yan, yung tinatawag nilang automaton. Yan. Okay? Next. Christian Schontin. Yan. Siya ang actually inventor ng hydrogen fuel cell engine. Yan. Pero hindi sa kanya nagsimula yan. Because there was this one man, si Rudolf Diesel, the father of the diesel engine, hydrogen fuel cell engines. Yan. Kung saan nire-replace niya ang gasolina, yan, and made it much more cheaper to operate and maintain. Pero yung sa diesel engine, it takes a long while to heat up. Yan. Charles Goodyear, you might be familiar, but yung kanyang invention, the vulcanized rubber para sa mga gulong ng mga automobiles noon, was soon his business and is now known as the Goodyear Company, yung Goodyear na tires. Yan. Robert William Thompson, yan, he invented the first vulcanized rubber tire, pero hindi siya naging successful. Yan. It never materialized because it's very costly and yun, naunahan na siya completely ni Charles Goodyear. John Joseph Lenoir, yan, or si Jean Lenoir, Belgian engineer. He is the inventor of the internal combustion engine. Yan. Sunod, Aston Plante. Yan. Yung battery na alam natin, yung may acid battery, yung may lead content na battery, he invented it noong 1859. Anios Jedlik, yan, invented the electric motor. Yan. Kung hindi kayo familiar sa motoring scene ngayong generation natin, most manufacturers are into electric powered vehicles. Pero hindi natin na-dig deeper that nung 1800s nagsimula ang electric cars or electric transportation. Yan. Spearheaded by Anios Jedling. Yes? Sino yung nag-raise ng hand? Yan. Yes? Can you please turn on your microphone? Yes.
Ask lang ko sir, unsay na-invent sir ang kanang vehicle nga nagamit og electric or ano sir?
Ang steam ang nauna. Engines.
Okay,
Kanang mga powered by, una kasi mechanical lang, walang makina. And then nung nilagyan ng makina, yan, meron ng use for oil, and then nagkaroon ng diesel engine. And then yung electric engines nung 1800s. Yan. Medyo late na siya and nagsabay siya sa development sa kanang regular na combustion engine. Okay? Next. Yan. Thank you for the question pala. Yan, balik tayo. Yan. Yung natatandaan nyo si John Lenoir, yan yung kanyang isa sa mga inventions. yung Hippo Mobile. Yan. Nakita niya kasi na yung diesel o yung hydrogen fueled motor, yan, na one cylinder pa yan noon ha. Yan. It was fast at that time. Mabilis niyan sa panahon nila. 9 kilometers in 3 hours. Ngayon, hindi yan aabot ng 1 oras. Ayan. Hindi talaga aabot ng 1 oras. Actually, it could be even minutes or so. Yan. Pero nung panahon, ang 9 kilometers in 3 hours is considered the fastest land vehicle. Yan. So, yan, meron na siyang steering column, meron na siyang ilaw, meron na siyang brake, may mga gulong, may mga chains, at meron na siyang upuan para sa mga tao. Yan. Okay? Next. Henry Taylor. Yan. Yung steam buggy. Yan. If you're not familiar with a steam buggy, it's same with a car. Yan. Medyo para siyang bug. Yan. But it's four-wheeled. Yan. Siegfried Marcus, Australian inventor. He put a liquid-fueled internal combustion engine sa isang handcart. Yan. And siya ang isa sa mga unang nakaperfect sa paggamit ng tinatawag na gasoline sa isang maliit na liquid-fueled internal combustion engine. Yan, Dr. J.W. Carhat, yan, invented the first steam-powered carriage. Ayan. Pero lahat ng yan hindi tumagal at hindi mass-produced. Okay? Lahat ng mga na-mention kanina, hindi siya naibenta. Yan. Hindi siya nabenta publicly. Either naging property lang ng government or research and development lang kutob. Yan. Mediboli. Yan. Still under the research and development type. He produced the first real automobile, a self-propelled steam road vehicle that could transport certain number of passengers. Ayan. Sunod. George Sheldon. He tried to patent the inline engine. Yan. In a four-wheeled car. Yan. Medyo tumagal. But after 6 years, he was also granted that patent kay George Sheldon. Okay, next. Yan, Enrico Bernardi. Yan. He patented the one-cylinder petrol motor. Yan, sa tricycle o yung three-wheeled bike ng kanyang anak. Yan. Making at least one of the early candidates of the first automobile. Yan. Pero yung isa sa pinaka una, actually it's the first publicly produced and publicly sold vehicle na successful was done by Carl Benz. Yan. Which built the I think it's what they call the automobile. Yan. Carl Benz is a German inventor, a German bike fabricator, pati maker from Mannheim, Germany. Yan siya. Si Carl at kasama yung kanyang asawa noong 1885, they produced the first successful gas-powered and mass-produced na land vehicle. Yan. So, itong si Carl Benz, if you're familiar, he's one of the forefathers ng current automobile brand na Mercedes-Benz. Okay? Yan. So, next. You would know na yung 3-arrow na logo na yan. That's 3 arrows. Yan. It symbolizes an iconic brand, the Mercedes-Benz. At nagpartner si Carl Benz at yung kanyang mga kasamahan with Gottlieb Daimler. Yan. So, si Gottlieb Daimler together with Carl Benz, they really produced the Benz automobile. Yan. And perfected it with the addition of the first high-speed internal combustion engine. Yan. Kung saan maraming tao from all over Europe ang nainganyo. Kung saan sila ang unang manufacturers ng automobile. Yan. Next. Yan. Gottlieb Daimler at si Wilhelm Maybach. Yan. Noong 1889, patapos na ang 1800s. Yan. They have designed a vehicle coming from a drawing and really created a perfect automobile at that time. At kung saan they really tried to sell it to the German people. Yan. Kaibigan sila ni Carl Benz. Kung saan currently, yan si Wilhelm Maybach, si Carl Benz at si Gottlieb Daimler, yung kanilang mga pangalan is now part ng Daimler na German corporation. Kung saan yung Maybach na corporate or Maybach na company is actually a branch ng Mercedes-Benz. Yan. Yan yung ngayon. You can search it on the internet. Yan. Sunod, si Panhard at Levasseur ng France. Yan. Same year, 1889. It was the first company formed exclusively in order to build automobiles such as that. Yan. Yan yung mga sasakyan nung early 1900s, pati yun, late 1800s. Introduced the first four-cylinder engine. Yan yung itsura nun. Yes, what you would see, somehow unique. But at that time, it was the latest. Yan. Noong 1890, a year later, the first horseless carriage appeared in the United States na kung saan may sariling motor at merong sariling engine. Yan. Charles and Frank Durrier. Yan. The Durrier brothers founded the Durrier Motor Wagon Company sa Amerika, kung saan sila ang unang American automobile manufacturing company. Sila yung pinakauna sa United States. Rudolf Diesel, you're familiar with him? He developed what is now known as the gas compression ignition engine or the diesel engine. That was noong 1893. Yan. Andrea Michelin, yan. First person na magamit yung invention ni Charles Goodyear, yung pneumatic tires. But he used those pneumatic tires, modified it, and applied it sa mga makabagong automobile tires. Yan. Even if he was not successful, it was considered as one of the forefathers sa pneumatic tire industry or sa mismong rubber tire industry. Kung saan ngayon, it is famously known as the Michelin Tire Company. Yan. Yung Nesseldorf Wagenbau na, for short, it was known as Tatra, the brand Tatra, is the first motor car in Europe and one of the earliest known factory-made cars sa buong mundo. Yan. Tatra. Sa ngayon, yung sasakyan na yan is considered as a truck. Yan. Or a pick-up type na sasakyan. Yan yung classification. Because it was a rugged brand. Yan. Yung Tatra. Hanggang ngayon, buhay pa rin ang brand na Tatra. Yan. Henry Ford. One of the most famous car manufacturers, and he introduced the most successful car noong 1900s hanggang 1910s, the Ford Model T. Yan. Of course, siya yung founding father ng Ford Motor Company. Philip Strauss, yan, invented the first successful automobile tire na kung asa na ay air-filled inner tube. O katong interior, kana. Siya ang inventor, ana, noong 1911. Felix Wankel noong 1956 from Germany. Yan. Developed an advanced type of engine na kung asan yung mga crankshafts yan and yung mismong gears operates differently than gas or diesel engines. Kung saan yan yung tinatawag na Wankel na mga components. Yan. Yan. So, questions before we proceed? Actually, itong traffic management, we'll be discussing this, I hope, by tomorrow. Questions muna? Questions? Reactions? Suggestions? Meron ba? Yes? Please turn on your microphone.
Sir, aning ngota na lang ko sir with regards to exam sir next week na sir no ok. Unsa
Yes.
ba?
March 31.
31 na. Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Yan, March 31 ang inyong exam. I will upload additional activities by the weekend and hope you would answer all the activities. Yan, ginatry na kong answer inyong mga questions. And then tomorrow we'll have a discussion again, joint discussion kung saan i-discuss na natin yung traffic management. Okay? So, please read your modules. Please somehow take notes. And katong activity na akong i-post is about yung mga modern na mga inventions or yung mga makabagong teknolohiya ng mga sasakyan. Ayan. O yung tinatawag na mga research concepts. Okay? So, ayan. It's around 15 minutes before 7. I think that is all for today. Unless na may questions. Please read your sims. Please read your modules. Naaraman dira good ang mga answers sa inyong exam. Okay? So, tomorrow we will discuss traffic management and then, ayun, hanggang tapusin na natin yung buong discussion for first exam. Hopefully by Tuesday next week. Okay? So, yan. Once again, thank you for joining this evening. Thank you.
Thank you sir.
And we'll see again tomorrow. We'll see each other again tomorrow. And I hope I would post this link, yung link nito, kasi kino-convert ko to. I would post this in your LMS. Okay? So, thank you, and good evening. Stay
Thank you
safe
sir.
and God bless.
Salamat sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.